Hai semuanya, Assalamualaikum. Kembali lagi di video reaction saya kali ini guys. Oke, mudah-mudahan semuanya sehat selalu. Nah, kali ini saya mau tengok video tentang ini ya. Berbagi kisah sukses Indonesia dalam forum World Bank Land Conference 2024. Delegasi dunia sampai tercengang. Inilah dia ini, kisah suksesnya, perkembangan pesatnya Indonesia gitu ya. So, jangan lama-lama lagi. Mari sama tengok video ini. Let's go.
Meaning, over the last 7 years, there has been an increase of almost 250%. So, this is a very optimistic scenario, and hopefully by the end of 2025, we can achieve our target. Well, the statistics are nice, but again, this is about promotion of land, housing, and country planning, Mr. Churad. Starting to my left, Minister Yudhoyono. Quick background, you were appointed this year as Minister of Agrarian Affairs and Spatial Planning. You're also the General Chair of the Democratic Party in Indonesia, and you founded the Yudhoyono Institute, which is a think tank on democracy and prosperity. And of course you have many other accomplishments, but we'll keep it to that for the moment. So recently, we know at Landesa that there's been tremendous progress in Indonesia, where we've started doing some work. And over 100 million parcels of land have now been mapped and registered, which is a remarkable accomplishment. I understand that another 26 million parcels will be registered in the coming year or so. And so I guess the question to you is, what's motivated this sudden movement around land, and what are some of the challenges that you've faced? And I want to just make clear, we're going to have 2 rounds of questions. So we'll start with the motives and challenges, and then we'll get to some of the success factors. So please.
Thank you, Chris. But before I answer your question, on behalf of the government of Indonesia, allow me to express our sincere gratitude for this invitation to this conference, and thank you for your continuous support to make Indonesian agrarian reform a great success. And we are grateful for your help to our communities impacted by natural disaster. So World Bank has indeed made a significant contribution to our systematic land registration program, which is fundamental for 3 main reasons. First one, this program provides legal certainty for landowners. The primary agrarian problem in Indonesia is the minimum ownership of land titles. So when, at my first day as minister, I flew to Manado, North Sulawesi. It's 3 hours flight from Jakarta. And I met this 80-year-old lady. Her name is Miss Adela. And she has been living in her house for half of her life, but never possessed any legal documentation until I gave her in person a certificate of land titles. She smiled in joy and relief, probably because this is the first time ever, after so many years, that she has something to be given to her next generation. So millions of Indonesians and citizens share the similar story with Miss Adela. And in East Java, there are thousands of farmers. So last week we gave and distributed 10,000 land certificates to those 3 generations of farmers. Never had any land certificates before. And in Indonesia, of course, most cases, land ownership is hereditary. So for decades, this de facto form of ownership is considered adequate for many societies. Of course, this kind of mindset has led to many problems and conflicts, especially when landowners dies or there's a ownership changes hands, because land can be claimed and repossessed by other parties at any time. So to provide legal certainty, since 2017, President Joko Widodo has implemented Indonesia's systematic land registration program, which is directed towards promotion of justice and prosperity for all. And the second point, the land registration provides access to the economy. Indonesia has more than 65 million small medium enterprises, absorbing 97% of our workforce and contributing 61% to our GDP. So they are the backbone of our economy. The problem is they have a very limited access to capital. So when they possess land titles, they could actually and legally apply for soft loans from our banking system and other financial institutions. And in the end, of course, it will generate significant economic value added. And the third one, land registration also provides legal protection from the unlawful, unethical land grabbers, or more popular in Indonesia, we call it as land mafia. So last year alone, our anti-land mafia task force, which is a collaboration between our ministry and the law enforcement agency, we could decisively prevent over 800 million US dollar of potential loss from land-related crimes. But despite all these benefits, many remain reluctant to register their land because they don't want to bother with administrative matters and are concerned with the obligation to pay taxes. So first and foremost, we must change the mindset of the people so they could understand clearly the benefits of having land titles and the risk of not having one through socialization campaign effectively. And further, the systematic land registration invites community participation and also collaboration from private elements. This is very important because government has very limited resources, both in terms of human resources and technological resources. So for their part, our local governments are also encouraged to provide incentive policies. For example, by waiving the first registration tax. And this proved to be effective to drive people to register their lands. So in short, key to success in this endeavor is the cross-sectoral approach, which allows the synergy and collaboration among stakeholders. And one last point, Chris, the results are quite exceptional because in 2017, only 46 million land parcels have been registered. But today, currently, we have registered more than 112 million land parcels out of 126 million in total target. Meaning, over the last 7 years, there has been an increase of almost 250%. So, this is a very optimistic scenario, and hopefully by the end of 2025, we can achieve our target. Well, the statistics are nice, but again, this is about promotion of justice and prosperity for all Indonesian landowners. So I strongly believe that this systematic land registration program will bring about a better future for everyone in Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Inspiring and full. In just a few minutes, you've given us such a good overview of some of the key factors and where you're headed with it. We'll come back to that. Now I want to talk to Minister Jennifer Mojica Flores. So you are the Colombian Minister of Agriculture.
Oke guys, jadilah sedikit sedutan gitu ya, sedikit cuplikan ini Menteri Agus Yudhoyono ini ya dalam forum World Bank Land Conference 2024 ini gitu ya. Dan sebenarnya ada banyak lagi gitu kan kisah kesuksesan Indonesia dalam pelbagai bidang yang pastinya berdampak dengan pertumbuhan perkembangan ekonomi Indonesia sekarang gitu, oke? Jadi ya Indonesia telah menunjukkan gitu ya kepada dunia bahwa inilah dia nih kesuksesan kejayaan Indonesia gitu ya untuk terus berkembang lebih pesat lagi ini terbaik. So, terima kasih banyak sebab kamu sudah menonton video ini. Jangan lupa macam biasa untuk support channel saya dengan subscribe, like video ini, dan jangan lupa untuk komen juga, oke? Terima kasih banyak dan kita jumpa lagi di video seterusnya. Assalamualaikum.